Shalom, family. Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. Well, the usual stuff is happening when it comes down to SNAP benefits. It is, the big group that's on it from the beginning always want to accuse us of being the biggest ones on it. And that has been debunked many times over the years. But you still got some that will still insist that we are the biggest recipients, and we have never, listen to me now, we have never been the biggest recipients of welfare in this country. There have never been any bigger recipients than white people. Remember, this did not come along until Jim Crow, at a time when segregation was very prevalent in the country. And these programs that came out around those times were exclusively for white people, it was not for anyone else. So when you try to say it's us, it is a bold faced lie. The data says it's not us. And back in the day, I even had one guy tell me, "Oh, well, we're not on it as long." When you listen to these white men and women online, some of them been on it for 13 years, some been on there for 11 years, 7 years. No, they've been on there for many years, so that's false too. Okay, try again because that's false too. And not only are y'all on there long, y'all pretty much get more benefits than the average black family. They don't get thousands of dollars every single month. Some of y'all are on here talking about you get $4,300 in SNAP benefits. We don't get those amounts in SNAP benefits. I've never been on SNAP ever. Okay. I had two working parents. We never had to be on assistance, but I have known people on assistance. And if anything, they got a few hundred a month. I have never met one sister that said they get 4,300 a month, but I've seen white people make these claims. Y'all get over 3,000. You be having the same amount of children that many of these single black sisters have, and y'all get way more money. That is something I'm definitely seeing that's coming out in a big way. So, no, we are not the ones hogging down the assistance. Y'all are. So, I want y'all to listen to what some of them are saying. I mean, just the nerve and caucasity of these folks, for real. And like I said, never got any advice of any worth. All of their advice is absolutely useless. It doesn't benefit anybody, not even their own people. Okay, their advice is useless when it comes down. They'll tell you to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, but don't have nary advice that's even remotely decent for anyone. So let me go ahead and share my screen so that we can get started. Thank you, G. Bowman Jr. Let me see what that says. Hold on one second. Be not ignorant of anything in greater matter or a small. Oh, okay. Ecclesia. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you for the scripture. Yes. I am familiar with that one from the Sefer. Thank you. Thank you for your support for my channel. You just remind me. I need to get back to my Sefer. Thank you for putting that up. I really need to get back to it. Okay, let me share my screen so we can get started. Let's see here. Yeah. Now, all Karens are not female. There are plenty of male Karens like the one you're about to hear. It is just amazing to me. Welfare is the biggest in red states where all of these MAGAs are from. Red states, and their communities get it the most. Red states from the beginning have been the biggest recipients of welfare, and that has not changed. It's still that way this very moment. But you got people like this and many more that will get on here and always direct it towards us. No, buddy, you should be talking to your own people for real. All right, y'all, give me a one if you can see my screen. Oh, thank you. All right.
Hey, LaQuisha, calm down, okay? They're not cutting off the SNAP benefits for November, all right? But be honest, you're still gonna go out and steal, aren't you? Hey, look, this comes.
You know, it really hurts me to see. I see all these families out here talking about this EBT thing, about this government shutdown. And you know, like I'm a 21-year-old dad. I got 3 kids that I take care of, plus like another one that isn't mine, but she's with me most of the time. So I got 4 kids that depend on me on the daily basis to give them food and provide for them and to make sure that they have a house over their head, you know. And I work a lot. My girlfriend, she works a lot too. So then we got this, we got assistance that is given to us because we're a low income family. And it's like, I see all these people out here talking about how people who use EBT or need EBT are lazy. Well, I'll tell you this right now, I ain't lazy. I work my ass around to you any time of the day, any time of the day. But it hurts my heart because now I got to look at my kids and I got to look at my family and I got to wonder what the fuck I'm going to do now. And it's 2025. Nobody should have to feel like that. Nobody should have to think like that. It's not like we're out here being savages, fucking hunting for our food and shit. Now we can go to the grocery store and buy it. So why should I have to be worried about where my next meal is going to come from? You know, I'll sit here and I'll starve myself any day for my kids to eat, but I shouldn't have to. I should be able to be strong so then I can feed my family, you know? And I'm not saying that all my food expenses come from EBT, but at least for half of the month it does. You know, half of the month my food is paid for by EBT, you know, and it's like, so now what am I supposed to do? Not pay my rent or not pay my vehicle or not pay my electricity, not pay my vehicle insurance, which is needed in order to drive a vehicle? Like, it just makes no sense to me. I don't know. But maybe I'm wrong.
See, that's the problem right there. Y'all love saying LaQuisha worried about her food stamps, but LaQuisha ain't the one statistically swiping her food stamp card. Over 36 million people in the U.S. get SNAP benefits, and guess what? 7 out of 10 of them are white. Not only that, the top states using SNAP benefits are Republican-led, like Oklahoma, West Virginia, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Like, so if y'all really want to talk about who's on government assistance, it ain't the one in inner cities. It's the ones in rural cities who got the motherfucking Trump flags in their motherfucking yard. Y'all. And since you want to talk about stealing, FBI data literally shows that white people are the most people who commit the thefts in America. So let's not project. The math is mathing, but your racism ain't. Keep LaQuisha's name out of your mouth and maybe worry about your motherfucking cousin who's stealing Cadillac converters out of motherfucking parking lots at Walmart. Fuck you.
The food stamp card.
Yeah, food stamps. I've been on them multiple times before, and I'm very curious what this privileged white lady has to say about them.
That program is supplemented by our tax dollars. Now, have you ever thought about what is the majority of those SNAP cards being spent on?
My guess, on foods that people have access to help keep them alive.
10% of a SNAP card's money is spent on soda, Coke, Pepsi, and 70% is spent on like highly processed foods.
Yeah, when people asked her where she got her information, she said Ken Berry, which if you don't know who that is, congratulations, but let's just say his information, not very reputable. I found the real info though. 40% of every food purchase dollar was spent on basic items like meat, fruits, vegetables, milk, eggs, and bread. Another 40% on prepared foods, dairy products, rice, beans, and other cooking ingredients. And the last 20% was spent on sweetened drinks and foods. Sorry if people buying treats bothers you.
Does anyone else see a problem? So not only are our tax dollars buying the food that's making people sick, But now our tax dollars get to clean up the mess.
You know, I get it. It's got to be tough to watch people struggle to buy what they need in order to survive instead of purchasing the hundreds of dollars worth of supplements you sell on your profile. So for anyone struggling out there, I'll tag Shannon and maybe you can go and educate her on what that struggle really feels like.
I'm eating peanut butter and butter on toast. It's absolutely delicious.
Well, well, well. We have another dumbass MAGA person. So let me just get right into it. So she's on there and she's talking about SNAP benefits and she's questioning what people did with their October SNAP benefits. I guess buy food is what they should be doing, right? No, she wants to know what kind of foods they bought, this, that, or the other, or whatever, how they're spending it unwisely. But this dumbass is talking about, I'm eating a peanut butter and butter sandwich on toast and it's yummy. Dummy, don't you realize that peanut butter is processed? Butter is processed and bread is also perhaps processed with preservatives. So the fact that she doesn't even know what process is, for me, unprocessed would mean straight from the garden, straight from the butcher, with nothing added to it. So the fact that she's eating processed foods, talking about people who shouldn't be buying processed foods is a big problem. This is what happens to the dumbass MAGA Republicans, whatever. I mean, they just speak out of mouth for what? She's so intentional to discredit people, to talk about people that she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about herself. Like, people are out here struggling, okay? I mean, literally struggling. You have nursing students that are working night jobs. They get up at 7 in the morning, have to be to class by 8. They get out of clinicals or class and they have to go to work. For what? Because they're trying to make a better life for themselves and feed their families. You have single mothers out here. You have single fathers out here. You have people on Medicare, on Medicaid, that are barely making ends meet. I mean, I don't know a lot of people, well, I'm sure there's some, that don't have 2 nickels to rub together. Everyone, absolutely everyone, is a paycheck or two from a catastrophic illness. And that could be a freaking cold. That could be COVID. That could be a broken hip. That could be a broken arm. Anything that interrupts the way that you live or the way you get your livelihood, this could happen to. But the fact that it's happening to so many poor people, according to her, it's just stupid. She's just so dumb. And like I said, the fact that she doesn't even know that she's eating processed food. What do y'all think? I mean, what do y'all think about her? Oh, and by the way, she's got her comments. Oh, and another good thing, well, I'm not going to say good thing because I don't wish bad on anyone, but karma always plays a role. So she lost one of her jobs because, of course, she got reported. And then she got on, I guess, from hearsay. I didn't see it myself, but that now she's in danger of losing a creator fund, which means that maybe she herself might have to go and try to get SNAP benefits. Oh, wait, she can't because there won't be any. My point is, it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you sit on. Don't have so much hatred and stuff in your heart that you really wish ill on people that don't have. Just because you don't have doesn't mean that you're not worthy of having. There's a big difference. MAGAs, she is not worthy of having a damn thing. But people out here that are living their life just to live, doing what they need to do just to survive, to have somebody like her come on and eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and acting like she's, queen to the king, it's just freaking outrageous. And I don't know if I feel sorry for her. I do feel sorry for the people that she affects, that people that look at that and see those comments and it can make them feel bad inside. Please don't. We've all been there at some point or the other, or we will always be there. Even if we get older, we get to a nursing home, who knows what kind of nursing home we get into. We could be in the fanciest nursing home with the crappiest caregivers, or we could be in the crappiest nursing home with the best caregivers. We don't know what our future holds for us, but for right now, we hold each other. We hold each other's hands and we hold each other accountable. And I'm sure karma is going to come and do whatever it is that they need to do to her. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go make some tea. I got my robe on, fixing to wrap my hair, take my earrings out, and I'm going to go to bed. But I just wanted to say to y'all that are, losing your SNAP benefits and stuff, reach out to family, reach out to friends, reach out to me. Y'all know by now I cook. If I have enough or if I don't have enough, I will always feed. If anybody knocks at my door, if anybody needs anything and I can give it, I will rob Peter to pay Paul, okay? Just to make sure that mine and anyone that I come in contact have what they need. Unlike this this dumbass that we just talked about. But anyway, y'all stay strong, stay together. We got this. We always have. If they could bring us over here with chains around our necks, on our wrists, and on our feet, and we could build America for them, we could survive what they're doing right now. And have I been hungry before? Hell yeah. But best meal my mother ever made, and we had it for a while, was white rice, can of tomato paste, and black coffee, no sugar, no nothing. Those were the times I remember because Mama did it with her heart. She did it with love, and I couldn't wait to eat that breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, not lunch because I do it at school, but breakfast and dinner, it was good. So we will make the most out of whatever we have. They, on the other hand, might not be able to, but deuces and blessings, y'all.
Here's what I got to say about all you people on TikTok crying about losing your SNAP benefits next month if this government shutdown continues. Well, if you can get on TikTok and you got the energy and time to do that, then you got the energy and time to sign up to do DoorDash. I tell you what, hunger is a great motivator.
Hey, Tori, I'm not on food stamps or anything like that, but I'm going to advocate for people who need it. Here's what I got to say about a woman who's been divorced 5 times. If you've got time to come on TikTok and complain about things, then that means you have time to work on your own personality and hatred, because that's the reason why you've been divorced 5 times. Because I think your something borrowed is just your ex-husband's. And I can just imagine what your next wedding would be like. Your wedding cake should be 3 tiers just of divorce papers, but covered in frosting. And I will say, I think Cupid is just tired of your ass, because after your 5th marriage, he filed for workers' compensation. But knowing you, you'd probably cut his benefits. And I genuinely feel like you have some kind of kink of shutting things down, kind of like that Hyundai plant that happened in Georgia. Kind of like how you did with your emotional availability. You know, Tori, if men aren't working out for you, maybe try women. You've turned the line till death do us part to till Tuesday do us part. I bet all of your wedding vows came with an expiration date and a tracking number. And after 5 failed marriages, you legally can be declared a one-woman revolving door. And if you do have a 6th wedding, next time don't go rice, just throw in the towel. And since you said hunger is a motivator, you definitely look like you're motivated by food. So you talking about people losing their SNAP benefits is absolutely wild, because you've lost more husbands than they've lost groceries. Imagine just criticizing people for needing food assistance when your entire life has been sponsored by alimony. She's out here judging people for food assistance, all the while her entire life she's been emotionally bankrupt. You know, Tori, SNAP benefits are actually there to help families eat, while your unions never made it through the appetizer course. And honestly, if I saw you in a grocery store, I bet you wouldn't even be shopping. You'd probably be running background checks on aisle 5. But I definitely know the aisle that you wouldn't be on. It's the seasoning aisle. And I can honestly see why you and ICE have a lot of things in common. 1, they're looking for people with papers while you have divorce papers. 2, they chase after men while you chase away men. And finally, she's living proof that you can have everything in life, except for empathy, sympathy, and a single successful relationship. Anyways, Tori, if you see this, have the day you deserve. Bye.
Am I a bad person because I got a little smile on my face when I found out that 42% of the people that receive SNAP benefits are white people in red states?
Too many privileged white people are coming here on this app and they're talking about people that benefit from food stamps, which most of them happen to be white. Most of them happen to live in Republican states, red state. Now, don't blame the Democrats, because this is absolutely Trump's doing. He can fund it if he wanted to. He's funding ICE. He's sending $40 billion to Argentina. Why are you not mad with him? The only thing the Democrats want to do is make sure that you have affordable health care and people are getting their notice. So not only you're not going to have your food stamps until the government is back in order, but you're going to have a big freaking healthcare bill coming January. And before you start coming over here complaining about the Democrats, I need you to go to the videos in which people are crying, teachers, healthcare professionals, in which their insurance has doubled or even tripled. Good luck on trying to get food and trying to stay healthy. I'm not sure how long this is going to last, but this is the frustration that we have with you, a lot of MAGA people, because you guys still haven't done your due diligence in reading Project 2025, in which they are trying to destabilize the government and that they want to do away with all the safety net. Why? Because it caused chaos. But I'm going to tell you who's going to be just fine. It's going to be the black and brown people, because we have always been resilient. How about you go to your legislator and tell them how much your insurance premium is going up? Or how about you tell your legislator, you want me to have children, you want me to raise children, but you don't want to give me money to feed these children. Stop telling women what to do with their body if you're not going to help them in the end. Anyway, my recommendation for you is to download the app called Five. Call your legislators, call your senator. Just want you to know that the Republicans will not negotiate with the Democrats. And this is why they're doing this.
I voted for him for lower grocery prices. Not only has that not happened,
I'm getting my food stamps taken. I did not ask for this.
Oh, it seems like a good enough time as any to interrupt her. Hi, I'm back to teach white people more shit. Well, mostly white people, because that's who keeps popping up on my FYP, just cheering on the fact that we won't have any SNAP benefits for November. So I thought I'd do a little research. Yeah, and I'm using Alabama as my example because that's the state I live in. And I got my data here that I'm about to read to you from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, and also because I know how to do basic math. Well, I do, but I double check it with Siri because I did receive an Alabama education, so there's a anyways. Yes, that's neither here nor there. I said, how many people in the state of Alabama, our population, are on SNAP benefits, and they said 750,000 to 800,000 people in the state of Alabama are on SNAP benefits, and that's our population, by the way, is 5 million. So that makes it 15 to 16% of our population are receiving SNAP benefits. And I said, so if we took each state, the percentage of their population on SNAP, and ranked them from highest to lowest, where on that list would Alabama fall? And we are the 11th highest on SNAP benefits. It's not really that good. They said 1 in 6 households receive SNAP benefits. I said, out of curiosity, how many people in the state of Alabama receiving SNAP benefits are white? It said 37%. I said, okay. That's about the same as our national average, so to be expected. I'm just going to give you a little bit more information to tie this up. 64% of the population voted for Donald Trump. 64% of the people who voted in 2024 voted for Donald Trump. And 77% of those people were white voters. And that comes from the Pew Research Center. I hope that helps.
People frequently claim that immigrants and poor Black families are living off the system. They're on welfare. They're mooching. But here is the truth. The majority of people on public assistance in the United States of America are white, and most of them have jobs. They just don't make enough money to survive without a little bit more because wages are low, rent is high, a lot of jobs don't come with benefits anymore. You can't have a job without a cell phone. You can't even find a job without the internet. But it's not poor people who are eating up the most dollars in public assistance. Nope, it's the middle class. It's people who can take mortgage deductions and, of course, corporations cashing in on subsidies. But nobody calls that a handout. SNAP, Medicaid, housing assistance, those aren't loopholes to help billionaires save some more money and line their pockets so they can get more yachts or whatever they do with it. They're lifelines for millions of people. And here's the kicker. Those programs keep all of us safer and more stable. If you're mad that someone's getting help, maybe just look at why they need it, not just who they are. Think about this. A friend of mine said he grew up in a third world country. And he said that in those countries, petty theft and, pickpocketing and crimes like that are common because people have to do that to get enough money to buy food and to pay for a place to stay. That's going to happen in our country if we don't get curious about where the waste in our government really exists.
Child, if you are on SNAP benefits and you are a MAGA supporter, I want you to come front and center for me real quick. Let's just have a little conversation. I want to ask you how you feeling. One of my Facebook followers, she is a white woman. She told me that white people are so used to having everything handed to them and they're very spoiled. And that's one of the reasons why they're having some problems with all the changes and everything that's happening. So I want to ask y'all, especially because white people are the #1 recipients of SNAP benefits, about 37%. How are y'all feeling about possibly not being able to get your benefits next month, right around the corner from Thanksgiving and other holidays? But Trump done sent almost $40 billion over to Argentina. Trump has spending millions and millions of dollars on this ballroom. Trump now has a statue of some sort that they are doing. It's supposed to be bigger than Abe Lincoln. I don't know if that's the proper term for it, but how y'all feeling about that? I mean, basically, people here in America can potentially starve. Troops just got paid. Government workers, including my husband, have not gotten paid. But Argentina can get all this money. And people who really need the benefits, they weren't even given a real heads up. I mean, it might have been nice if y'all was going to cut the benefits to give people 30, 60, 90 days so that they could prepare. You just ain't going to get it on November 1st. Y'all could just be hungry. Because I'm going to be real with you. Black folks are used to doing a lot with little. We're used to having to make things stretch. We're used to being denied for stuff. So when it comes down to food and being able to stretch food, I don't know if y'all remember Miss Fee that used to be on Facebook and on TikTok before she passed away. She used to show us how to make meals for like $7. That's what we do. That is in our lineage. But as my friend was saying, my Facebook follower was saying, white people ain't used to that. As a whole, obviously, some people who don't fit that mold, but as a whole, not used to that. So that's why so many white people that killed themselves during the Great Depression, because they wasn't used to that. So I'm just curious, how y'all getting along, how you feel like you're gonna fare during this time. Is America still great, or is it great yet? Let's just have a discussion, open discussion. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hope you had the day you deserve.
Baby, white TikTok is in a frenzy, and while I have my voice right now, I'm going to use that hoe. They don't understand how their SNAP benefits are being cut off in November. They literally thought when they heard SNAP benefits, it was only going to hit the black folks, okay? Now, I'm going to say this. When the government shuts down, it does not just shut down for one particular group of people. It shuts down for everybody and they fucking mama. So yes, white people in the Midwest, these Appalachian white folks, y'all ain't gonna have y'all shit either. Now I am gonna say this, when you decide to vote for that man, you put a wild card on the table during UNO. You don't know which way this man is gonna go. And no, I am not blaming Democrats once again. They are holding the fucking line for the Affordable Care Act and Medicaid. Something you white folks on SNAP need. So y'all better buckle up. Now, if there's an uptick in shoplifting in grocery stores, if y'all see that shit, be like Pam on Martin. I ain't seen jack. Because we ain't seen none of it. Now, food banks are going to have a hard time because you already got federal workers that don't have any benefits whatsoever right now, are not getting paid. You also have people in the armed services that are not getting paid that are lined up at those damn food banks. Now you got over 40-something million people that will not be receiving their SNAP that's going to need food as well. So I do expect an uptick in shoplifting. Do what the fuck you got to do to survive. Pisses me off more than the fact that y'all trying to make this a racial issue when it come down to people not receiving their SNAP benefits in the month of November. Come on, sip a little tea with Auntie, because y'all know I got a little time today, and I come with actual factual numbers. Clock that tea. So a lot of y'all on here screaming, that's good that they won't be getting their November benefits. Maybe they'll get off their lazy behinds and go get them a job. Let me put this in right here, though. I want you to know the people who receive the most government assistance in general in this country don't look a thing like me. Did you hear what I said? And I always include, the actual factual, the details that you need to see, the tips you need to use right above my hand so you can know that I'm spitting actual factual. They don't look a thing like me. So stop trying to make it a racial issue when people in general will be affected by this. Just because you up there in the upper class, higher class, and you feel like, it ain't gonna affect you, it might affect your grandmother, your grandpa, your elderly aunt, your great auntie, your great uncle. Those people will be affected. Or how about your little neighbor that lives on your street, bought her house back when she was working. Now she retired and received a little bit of SNAP benefits to keep her going. She will be affected by this. So quit trying to make it a racial issue. It's a people issue in general. A lot of people will be affected if these people don't get this government back open and get these people they SNAP benefits and other benefits that they're going to miss out if they don't help and open this government back up. Thank y'all for sipping a little more tea with AC. Bye, y'all.
I'm going to keep this, descriptive post short and straight to the point. The reason why white people, why y'all are disillusioned, highly disillusioned, into believing that the majority of Black people are the ones who are the SNAP and EBT, recipients, when in fact that's been proven multiple times that's not true. And that's just not in and of recent years. It's pretty much always been that way. It's just been statistics and stereotypes that the government and white people have pushed out there. Now, the reason why they do this is one thing that is the main thing is because white people have a greater embarrassment about using and utilizing things like that. So they will have benefits and stuff like that. And they won't even tell their own family members that they're using it. Go to the store when and places way out where nobody will know and see and think they know him, late night and stuff like that, be looking shame, looking around to see if anybody watching them and things like that. Most Black people don't really care. They will go in there and proudly swiping and don't care who's watching, or they post about it. Again, white people aren't going to post about that because they don't want their friends and family and things looking at them in this negative aspect, even though some of their friends and family may be on it or be doing worse off than them. But it's a whole image thing, and that's what it's tied to directly. So I really need more of y'all to really grasp why I see y'all up on these posts and things making all of these racist comments when it has nothing to do with the fact that y'all don't seem to realize, and I'm not just talking about white people, and there's a lot of people don't seem to grasp that it has a trickle effect. And when you do something that harms, that's going to affect workers, delivery, stock, everything, which is, like I said, from the top down. It's only that I don't think that they considered that at all, or thought that it was going to go another way. But however, yeah, that's it.
At this point, these folks are being willfully ignorant. There is no way you are a white person and at this day and age and you're still ignorant about who's on welfare. Some of y'all just think we don't know, so you want to keep playing the game. We do know. We do know. And that's why now, if you notice, when they come online making these accusations that is Lucretia getting all the welfare benefits, you notice how hard we are pushing back on that now? Probably the hardest I have ever seen in my lifetime. We don't let that ride no more. When they get on these videos making claims about lazy and welfare queen and all that stuff, because they do use those terms. And now, our people don't sit quiet now and just let that go. It's now being heavily addressed, whether they like it or not. No more are the days you're going to drop welfare in our laps and it's going to go unchallenged. It is too much statistics and info. And too much info even coming out of the federal government that y'all love, that says white people are the biggest welfare recipients in this country, and you've always been the biggest. When these things get pointed out, you try to deflect. That's what you do. But I believe the majority of even some of these folks coming on these videos trying to clown out our community, I believe many of you do know. You just think we don't know. So, y'all, that's all I have for you on this particular issue. I do have upcoming videos. My next one will be at about 5 o'clock, and it's on Three Eye Atlas. Now, when the scientists first started talking about this, they said it was going to go past, go behind the sun, then go past Jupiter, and then completely leave the solar system. Well, they're all changing gears, y'all. Not anymore that they're saying that. They're now saying it's going to go behind the sun, and they believe it is never going to leave our solar system. It's going to be in our solar system. It won't leave. That's why China, the US, UAE are putting their planetary defense systems in place, because their biggest fear is this thing is not going to leave. Because, see, the two prior objects that came from interstellar environments, they left. But this one, 3i Atlas, is acting completely different from the previous two. It is not behaving anything like the other two. So that's what they are fearing now. So now I understand why they're putting the planetary defense systems in place. Before they were talking about it, but they didn't give you a reason why. The reason why is they don't believe 3i Atlas will leave our solar system. So, yes, they are scared. They are scared of what's going to come down on them. So we will talk about that at 5 o'clock. I will I got the live stream set up. I just got to make it public. So I will do that as soon as we're done. So y'all, please enjoy your afternoon and be on the lookout for my next live stream. Shalom. Oh, hold on. Let me do my thank yous. I'm sorry. G. Bowman Jr., I did thank you for the first one. And then you gave me a second one I deeply appreciate. MAGA didn't cry nor holler when the U.S. gave Ukraine and 200 plus billions of taxpayer money. No, and they never will, because those Ukrainians look just like them. That's why they have no complaint about that. You're absolutely right. And thank you for your support from my channel. And Thaddeus D. Peterson, it's not willful ignorance. Let's call it what it is, evil. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially if you are aware of something, but you're still trying to put it on somebody else. Yes, that is pure evil. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much for your support from my channel. And shalom, family.